What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Keep It Hoop YouTube channel. Today we'll be going over Talen Horton-Tucker, THT from the Los Angeles Lakers. He's had a 33-point game and an 18-point game in his last two preseason games. And, there's debate about how good is he going to be once the regular season starts. What can we expect from him? What kind of role he might have? And, yes, we're going to take a look at the games. And then, take a look at some of his stats and, try to decipher some of that. All right, so this is his 33-point game against the Clippers. Um, he starts it off with a catch and shoot three, and this is going to be a topic we keep going over, but that's going to be the biggest factor deciding, how good he's going to be and how impactful he's going to be for this team because, he's a guy that likes to have the ball in his hands. And that is something that you know as he's playing with the second squad and the bench, he's going to have opportunities to make plays with the ball in his hands. But if you want to play when it really matters, if you want to play you know crunch time minutes in the playoffs, you're going to have to play with Braun. And if you're playing with Braun, you're going to need to be able to shoot, and especially that corner three right there. Something he struggled with last year. I think last year he shot 30% from three. Um, and corner threes, which made up only a fourth of his threes. Yeah, he shot 30%, 31%. So it's gonna be, again, that's gonna be the biggest key on how he is. Um, again, when he has the ball in his hands, he's really comfortable, makes a nice pass there. Um, nice step back. He's able to create space for himself, create shots for himself, which is something that the Lakers kind of missed last year with their bench. And I think he'll be able to fill that role. Um, you could see some really good bench performances when you have both him and Kuzma if they're both hitting. And with LeBron and AD, probably expected to miss a few games here and there for quote unquote load management. They might even be able to steal some games. Yeah, I mean, I like what we see so far. Again, the corner shooting was good. He's able to create space for himself. Um, I think the passing is another thing that's gonna be interesting to look at. Um, he he had a 19% usage rate in the limited time he played last year. Right? I think he played 6 games last year in the regular season, and 19% usage rate, not super high, not super low. But he is a guy that likes the ball in his hands. Um, the one thing that was a bit concerning was his assist and turnover ratio. He averaged one assist and one turnover, and that's not a good ratio if it's just 1-to-1. Um, and then again that with the 30%, 30.8% 3-point percentage, those are the two things that kind of stood out as red flags. Um, but yeah, I mean he's obviously a young player. He was 19. Um, he's only gonna get better. And he has I think a 7 foot or 7'1" wingspan. Um, apparently he has really big hands, and you know the two players we talk about when it comes to big hands, you see him right here, Kawhi and Jordan, and those guys are pretty good. So he has the the build, um, has the potential obviously. This right here is going to be key too to see how he can play defensively. Obviously, if you're a team with championship aspirations, you're gonna need to be able to defend at least a decent level. And Frank Vogel is a defensive coach, and even with his offensive talents, with LeBron and AD, they're gonna want to see him being able to defend and really get playing time. It's a nice move right here. After this on the pull up three to get his own shot again. Um, Creating space and getting his own shot was never the problem, but to be able to shoot. So we've seen it already once. Catch and shoot three, right? Especially from the corner. That's a good sign if you're a Lakers fan. And then the pull up three here, really nice. He sees that Patrick Patterson's guarding him. That's a mismatch. He could have probably driven past him, but you have a situation here where the Clippers are loading up pretty heavily inside the paint, right? So pretty difficult to get in the lane. THT sees that, nice read, pulls up, and then you know just by virtue of the move. I mean, it's a simple move, but it's really effective because again, Patrick Patterson knows this is a mismatch. Um, Horton, instead of starting this drive here, pulls it back out from here and then sizes him up. And what that does is now Patrick Patterson is backing up, right? He knows he doesn't want to give up a wide open layup, a line drive to the lane. So he's already backing up. So when THT makes this move right here, right? Because THT is just reading. He is just reading Patrick Patterson right here. Um, and obviously he's still reading the second line of defense here. But if Patrick Patterson, instead of backing up, right, steps up, then THT sees that, he can drive, then ideally either pull up for a jump shot or a floater, right? But he sees Patrick Patterson backing up. Easy three. Um, really nice move here. It's simple but really effective. Rises, and that's not even really a contest. You're gonna see the slow mo there, right? With that step, if Patrick Patterson comes up, he just drives by. But it's makes that move even more effective if you can cover, this much ground with that step, because that's the explosiveness Patrick Patterson's worried about. Off ball motion. Obviously, they're running some plays from Frank Vogel, coaching staff, and the team. They want to see what he can do, right? This is designed to play for THT and Quinn Cook, right? They're going to screen opposite side. Um, Even if this play isn't for Quinn Cook, this this pick is actually pretty important because, I mean, ideally you want Jared Jeffries to set a harder screen and then Quinn Cook to come off harder, even if he's not going for the ball. Because if THT is your main guy here and you want to get him rolling to the basket, by having movement on the weak side, what that does is now this defender here has to stay at least somewhat engaged to what's going on here, right? Which means he can't just be the permanent help defender here. He has to, still worry about what's going on with Jared Dudley, Quinn Cook. Are they going to switch? Does he need to help? Um, Again, it could be run a little bit cleaner with the screen right here, but it is a nice wrinkle to have. Again, even if this is the main play, you want to have some kind of action or movement on the weak side, just so the defense can't key in on what you're trying to do. So this is kind of just a red herring over here. Again, um, you know, just the ability to play off the ball will definitely help playing with LeBron. Cutting, and even there's Marc Gasol here, and Marc Gasol is a good passer, but this could be LeBron or it could be AD. And if you can showcase that you can do stuff without the ball, you will make a case to, buy yourself some more playing time, right? So the improved shooting, the passing, the cutting, some of the defense. I mean, we're seeing it all so far. Again, it's preseason. Take it with a grain of salt, but definitely, a little improvement. Good to see so far. Pushing the ball, and again, that's I mean, this is where he's most comfortable, right? With the ball, attacking downhill, and he gets to showcase. Nice spin move off balance, and still a really nice finish there. Again, if that jumper's there, then he's gonna get himself a lot of minutes. Um, because you can do this. It's I don't know. You can't really make a make a case to keep a guy like that off the floor. And again, really nice cut. It's a nice action here, by the way. Um, look at the move again, but if you look at the action, right? Again, um, I think this is because Harrell's not even looking at Quinn, and Quinn's not even looking to get the ball. This is strictly a play for THT, right? So again, you have Jared Dudley setting a screen. And in this case, THT and Harrell just have to read the defense, right? Um, if defender here is playing him from this side, then THT just comes up, right? But instead, since the defender is denying the screen, right, and is playing him from the top side, THT just takes a V cut, and Montrezl Harrell makes a nice pass here. Strong finish. Again, using the decoy on the other side of the floor to really allow THT to go one on one. All right, so this is his latest game where he scored 18. See now him playing with AD and a little bit of the some of the other starting guys. You see the wingspan there in action again, 7'1" wingspan. Really strong take, really strong finish. We talked about this with Isaiah, but and a lot of players are just starting to implement this into their game. But that slow, longer step to really just allow the defense to pass by, and you want to drive right at them, but you see here this long step here, and then you just kind of finish it with a euro. And because THT is driving right at Booker, and then he's now forced to take a step back. Then THT uses that last step to gather, and by that time, Devin Booker's already out of the picture for him, and he just goes up. So nice finish there. Really nice finish there. That's a tough shot. Takes the contact against Aiton, bigger guy. Really nice finish. Nice creativity. Uses the screen here. Nice patience. Really nice patience here of just navigating the screen. It's a lot of guys who are either uncomfortable with the ball or just inexperienced or too giddy. They could very easily force the shot up right here. And even if he takes the shot, it's not an awful shot, right? But he's surveying it. And this is what we talked about last video with IT as well. But again, the screen is here. He snakes around, right? And really makes sure that his defender is behind him, right? He's using his body after using the screen to make sure that his defender is behind him. Um, and then again, Chris Paul's probably the best in the league at this, but then he just continues to, instead of forcing this shot, which again he could have taken, continues to navigate. Um, so really good patience here. Um, you know, he had his defender beat and behind him, but he doesn't personally see, right, anything that he can do with Harrell right now. I mean, you could probably throw an overhead pass to Harrell for a jump shot, but he's buying time to see what the defense gives him. He knows, right? He sees a lane to the basket, which he ends up doing. And even if it's not there, if he can at least buy more time and drive, he's buying time now for Montrezl Harrell to do something, whether it's stay there and you create more space for the jump shot, or he can cut in, right? But really nice patience there, right? And even that last second, some guys might get into the paint and then assume, right, the help is here, and then pass it to Harrell. But he realizes that the help defender, right, Harrell's defender is already going back towards Harrell. So if he throws this pass, might end up being a turnover, and then just ends up taking a really easy layup. Again, attacking the rim. using the screen. Nice floater. The patience is really impressive for someone, again, super young and just his second year. Good defensive effort. There's some of the athleticism and wingspan coming into play again. Uses the screen, attacking. Really nice use of the inside hand this time. It can be difficult, to decide if you want to go, inside hand or outside hand on layups. This time, I think a lot of times when you're in a situation with a shot blocker near you, um, yes, you want to keep the ball away from the shot blocker. Um, but another advantage of the inside finish here, right? So the defenders, um, pretty much behind him. So left or right, it doesn't matter as much. Um, and yes, there's the help defender coming here, which is towards his inside hand. But what a lot of players like to do is they want to just get it up on the backboard first, right, as quickly as possible, because you're playing against some of the most athletic bigs in the world, really good shot blockers. And if you just even if you have a really high floater, sometimes it still gets blocked, right? So the advantage of just getting it to the backboard is obviously they're not going to want to have a goaltend violation. So you just get it up on the backboard as quickly as possible. And obviously, it's easier to do that if you're doing it with the inside hand. So nice finish, close game. Ball in his hands. The patience, pulls it back out. Um, really creative. He doesn't have that crazy explosiveness. The insane athleticism, but at his height, ball handling skills, really nice pass there. The passing, if he can keep the turnovers down, then the athleticism is good enough. Um, so yeah, really nice pass there. Um, the things I did want to look at, is again, it really is just the shooting and the um assist to turnover ratio, right? 1-to-1 is not something you want to see from a guard. Um, and the 3-point percentage again is something, if in today's league, no matter who you're playing with, it's something you want to keep an eye on. But especially if you're playing with Braun, right? You're playing with Braun, AD. These are guys that you're gonna have to learn to find your opportunity with, and the easiest way to do that is to just be able to shoot threes, right? Those guys are gonna get a lot of double teams, a lot of attention. He the one thing I did like about him is even when he's not shooting off the ball, he's still engaging in active cuts. He made the right decision numerous times on off ball screens. That obviously helps. And you look at a guy, I'm not comparing the two players, but you look at a guy like Dwayne Wade, who was in Miami, went from an on ball dominant, guy before LeBron got there to being, um, someone who became one of the best off ball cutters in the league and got a lot of points that way, right? Um, I do think he's showing improvement in his shot. His shot form looks fine. Again, he's shooting with confidence. I think he'll be fine. But another thing to, especially with a lot of college players, a lot of scouts look at free throw percentage as a indicator of how good of a shooter they are. He shot 50% last year, so obviously not good. Um, it could be a case of he played 6 games, 13 minutes a game. Maybe he wasn't in rhythm, um, and maybe he's just a lot improved, a lot a lot more comfortable this year, and he'll be fine. There's also a chance that, and I'm not hoping this, but there's a chance that last season was who he is and preseason is a fluke, right? Our sample size is really too small to make a decision either way. um so that is something we're gonna have to keep an eye on again. I do think that, look, I'm leaning towards him being fine. Again, with the wingspan, with the ball handling abilities, and the what seems like improved shooting. Um, I think he'll be fine. I really do. I think again defense will be a key as well to see if he can really get himself on the court, and make a case to Frank Vogel, who again is a defensive minded coach, but whether it's the pressure from the fans, the front office, or the guys like LeBron and AD, I think it is pretty hard to keep a guy like this off the floor. And granted, LA does have depth now. You got guys like Schroeder, and you still have Kuzma and Harrell's coming in, and I'm not going to say that he's going to come in and average 30 minutes a game, but I do think he'll get more opportunities in the 6 games and 13 minutes a game last season. I certainly hope so. Pretty exciting so far. But yeah, again, the sample size is too small, so we'll just have to see. But yeah, so that'll do it for this episode. Again, a little bit shorter. Trying to have some of the shorter videos. We had the Denny Advia video yesterday, was one of the shorter ones as well. But yeah, so thanks for listening, guys, or thanks for watching. Again, if you guys have any other videos, ideas, players you want us to cover, teams you want us to cover, comment below, let us know. And yeah, like this video, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WordPress, and stay tuned. We'll see you guys soon.